Trust and probate tips. Think twice before throwing anything away. That's our topic today. We'll get started right after this. We had a commenter recently on our YouTube channel who mentioned that it's surprising how many items people throw away before estate sales. They mentioned that many treasures are often thrown away or donated when realistically they could be sold and could be an asset for the estate. So today we're going to talk about some of the reasons why you should not throw anything away until you've had the opportunity to speak with all the professionals who are guiding you through this. Hi, I'm Ashlie Rivera with Horizon Real Estate's Probate and Trust Help. We're a real estate company in San Diego County who helps guide executors, administrators, and trustees through the sale of their loved one's home. So one of the things that we've noticed is that some of our clients feel a pressure to get a home emptied quickly so that they can get it sold. But we need to understand that cleaning out a property is actually different from preparing a property for sale. To us, sometimes we see items in a home, especially through the process of clearing out a property. We have clients who will see items in a home and just think of them as more stuff to have to handle. But it's really important that you slow down and take the opportunity to determine what has value and what items should be kept. And know that sometimes the valuable items are not always obvious. The possible items that could be examples of this would be military memorabilia, old toys, vinyl records, comic books, cards of all sorts. So for example, if you have a collection of Pokemon cards, that's a big one right now. Maybe that's something that you're gonna wanna have someone appraise and potentially determine whether it has value or not. And that's just a few of the items. We always recommend that if you're concerned about something, bring someone in who's professional who can help you determine the value of items. The goal isn't necessarily to save everything, but to ensure that you're not making decisions too quickly. You also don't want to throw things away too quickly because maybe the beneficiaries want some of these items. Things like family photographs, handwritten cookbooks, old love letters, old movies, military memorabilia, childhood toys might be things that a loved one wants to keep. For example, when my grandfather passed away, one of the items that my mom wanted to keep was one of his jackets. She wears his warm, comfy sweater whenever she's missing him, and it just makes her feel closer. We have lots of ways that we've recommended to clients to handle the process of going through items, but we first recommend that you bring in all beneficiaries who potentially could want something, and you give them the opportunity to share what items they'd like to keep. If you have a lot of beneficiaries and you're concerned people are going to fight over different items, one of the techniques that we've used in the past is that everyone has a stack of Post-its that's their own color, and they're going to write their name on their Post-it, and they're going to place it on the item they'd like to keep. Everyone else comes through and does the same, but nobody takes any items until all beneficiaries have had an opportunity to label the items that they might want. Then, once that process is complete, we allow all the beneficiaries to come back in, and if there's Post-its, multiple different colored Post-its, multiple people who want an item, then those individuals will need to discuss how they would like to handle that. We've had people who just determined one individual could keep an item, or we've had times where clients will actually choose to share an item and it gets sent back and forth every couple of years so that they all get an opportunity to hold on to a memento from their loved ones. Once all the beneficiaries have had an opportunity to come in and gather the items that they would like, we then recommend that you split into 3 categories. If you're going to go through all the items yourself, you want to make sure you have all the documentation that's important, and you check things for any potential hidden areas. For example, we've had times where a client had a coat closet that was just filled with coats, and their grandmother tended to hide money places, and one of the places that she was hiding money was inside coat pockets. So check little cubby holes or areas where you think there might be money hidden, and know that the item that those coats, for example, might not be worth keeping, but it would be worth the time to just check the pockets real quick and make sure there's no money stuffed away. So the 3 categories. We suggest you divide up the items into 3 categories: keep, donate, and undecided. If you're gonna go through and choose to figure out what you want to keep, what the beneficiaries want to keep, and then you're going to go through and donate items. You're going to want to gather those up. You'll also have a good amount of trash likely that's going to need to be disposed of. So you'll want to walk through how you're going to go about handling that. If you choose to bring in an outside company to handle some of this for you, you could have an estate sale company come in and let you know what the potential situation would be for selling all the items via the estate sales company. Or if there's no estate sales company that thinks that the items that are remaining have enough value, then you can go ahead and bring in a clear out company. So that's a company that we have come in and they just say, hey, we'll take everything that's left on the property, the usable items, the donatable items, and the trash, and we will handle doing whatever needs to be done with each of those items. A lot of times what ends up happening is the donatable items will be taken to where they need to be donated, the trash will be taken to the dump, and the items that have value and can be sold will then be taken to wherever they do their traditional sales. So it could be a swap meet, could be an antique store. We don't really know, it just depends on the clean out company that you choose. Remember that with an estate sales company, you're actually going to want to make sure that you vet them well. If they have a list of references, you're going to want to reach out to some of those references, because we have seen situations where estates have been taken advantage of by a sales company who doesn't have the experience or potentially maybe doesn't actually know the financial value of an estate, and they end up taking a huge portion of the funds that the estate would have received for the sale. You'll also want to ensure that you discuss timelines. If you're on a tight timeline, for example, you're trying to get this property cleared out as fast as possible and you want to get it sold, estate sales companies sometimes have really long timelines before they're able to hold a sale, and they need a good amount of time to prep. There's nothing wrong with that timeline, but if you feel like you are in a rush to get this property sold, then you may not want to choose to go that route. One of the things that we recommend is, as an executor, administrator, or trustee, you remember your role. You're holding a fiduciary role to do what's best for the estate. You'll want to make thoughtful decisions, not rushed ones, and sometimes that means waiting one more day before making the decision to remove an item from home. Once something is thrown away, it's usually gone forever. So slow down. Ask yourself questions about whether or not an item could hold value. And if you really need it, get some professional advice and professional help through the process. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button. We'll see you next week.